with voting having concluded for the 2019 GAC Legacy Awards last week, at this time now we get to speak to the winners that you all, the fans, chose. And the award for Best Performance at a GAC Women's Championship, that award this year went to Arkansas Tech women's golfer Allie Weiner. Allie, thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you for having me.
So, on a team as stacked as Arkansas Tech's women's golf team always has been, just what were your expectations for that week? I know you go off, in that number 4 position, but what were you looking to how to contribute to the team that week in Hot Springs?
Well, basically, the whole year, the last 2 years I've been there, we've just worked our butts off. Both fall and spring, we practice as much as we possibly can. Even if it's raining outside, we'll go out and practice. So I was really looking forward to it, and I knew that we could do really well just because of how much work we put in. So I was really excited.
And then, this year we had the scheduling quirk with the rain, where you have to start off on 36 holes that first day. Certainly, on the women's side, it's not a common ask to have you guys play 36. Just what did Coach Anderson, what did she instill in you guys before that first round of how to get through that day and not get discouraged on hole 6 when you've got 30 holes to finish?
Yeah. So basically, she kind of prepared us for that. She made us do 36-hole qualifiers throughout the year just in case something like that did happen. She was always prepared for the backup plans to go down because you never know with Arkansas weather, anything could happen. So we were all pretty prepared for that. It wasn't really a big deal for us.
And so after that first day, you guys find yourselves, in second to Southwestern. They all played well, and you're in 8th, which normally would sound great, but with how deep your team is, you're fourth on the team. Just how's the mood on the team after that long day? And do you feel like you were still in good position?
I think we try not to think about what place we're in going into the second day. I don't really remember feeling any type of way other than just going out and doing our best on the second day, and I think we did do that. So I think we just think about never giving up and always trying to improve on everything.
And how tough was the last 9 of that 36 holes? I know you said Coach Anderson, preps you yesterday with qualifying, but qualifying and a tournament experience certainly are different. There's no there's no give up on that course. Just how'd you feel like you finished that marathon day?
Honestly, I think I did pretty well. I think we all did. I grew up playing that course. So I was really excited, and I was thinking to myself, just go out there and do what you've been practicing. Just feel it, feel the swing. Don't think too much. So it was kind of just, I don't want to say relaxing because it definitely wasn't, but it was definitely like fun, and I enjoyed it. So I wasn't really thinking about, oh my gosh, I have to play 36 holes. It was really just, go out there, have fun, do what you know how to do. So I feel like we all did that.
And then so now you get back into the traditional 18-hole finish, a day where you go out and shoot a 67 and shoot the best score of the day by, I think, 8 shots. What's you said this is the course you grew up on, so at what point in that day did you find one particular, or did you find your game all kind of rounding into form?
Honestly, number 1, second shot, or the third shot, because it was par 5, I stuck it to like 3 feet, and I was like, well, if I just keep doing this all day, this is gonna be easy. And I did. I don't know where it came from. Something just clicked, and I was just sticking it close. And then, I did make a couple bogeys, and it wasn't easy to like go out there and do that, obviously, but something was just happening that day. So I felt like I did not miss. It was like the best feeling in the world.
I think anyone who's golfed and had, whether it's a birdie on the first, or even for some like us who are through with a par on the first, so this is gonna be the day where it's gonna be this easy and you're gonna shoot your best number. How hard was it for you to stay in the moment of each shot, or you start counting up where you are, and some like to protect a score, like, oh, I'm at 1 under, let's stay here, as opposed to trying to push to get to 2, 3, 4 under?
Yeah. So one thing that Coach Amy has tried so hard to instill in me is to not think about the number, not think about the result, just be in the moment and focus on the shot you're at. And even one of the girls I was playing with on hole 17, I had made a birdie, and she was like, "Do you realize what you're about to shoot?" And I was like, "Don't say anything. I'm trying to think about it." So I was really not to like try to shoot a number or try not to like mess up. I was really just focusing on the shot, staying calm and collected, and like blocking all that out. So glad I could do that.
I wonder, this is perhaps the hard-headed or hard-headed cynics thinking maybe they're trying to get in your head to have you jinx on 18 to maybe put up a double bogey, and then if it was one of the other contending teams, that maybe then you double, they birdie, and all of a sudden the team scores become a lot different. But maybe everyone's just is just friendly and jovial and just.
Oh yeah, well, I grew up playing with her. She's actually from my hometown, so I think it was definitely friendly, and it was shocked as me. We were all like, "What is going on?" Like, I almost had a hole in one. Like, things were just happening.
Do you wish that was the 36-hole day? Maybe you could have gone and just done it back to back, or
maybe. Hey, that would have been fun too. I'd take that.
So the round ends, and you're again where you were placed. You're one of the kind of the earlier finishes for Tech. How quickly does the score then get posted, and kind of people tell you, hey, you're leading when you finish, or at what point do you find out where you are in the individual standings relative to everyone else?
Well, okay, so I finished the round, and I was like, okay, Allie, you did good today. That was great. Felt great. But then it kind of clicked in my head, okay, you might have a chance to win the whole thing, which I never expected to do. Like, you always want to do something like that in your career, but you never expect to do it. So when the scores started getting posted, and I looked on Golf Stat, which always has like, I think every 3 holes they post the scores. I was like, oh my goodness, I could be towards the top of the deck. Like, anything in the top 10 at conference is pretty great. I'll take that. But then I was just starting to think, oh my goodness, I could win this thing. That was incredible. And I saw, obviously, my team was kind of pulling away, and it was just a great moment, honestly.
Sure, if you get one of the two, that's a great thing for you all, and then to double and win both makes it. There's no not sourness to the day, but it's something that everything the team can celebrate both you, and then the team as a whole gets to enjoy the whole day with no strings attached. Just when the final scores are posted, and you see that you're going to be the winner, so even before any announcements are made, just what are the emotions that come to you that day, or who comes in? Is anyone who do you find coach first? You find teammate first when everything's posted, or when's that like when you first saw that everything was published and you were going to be our champion?
So the first people, obviously, my whole family was there. They go to every tournament that they can. Both of my grandparents, my mom, my dad, and basically they were so proud. They were crying. They were like, "We're so proud of you. The hard work has finally paid off." But then I think the most meaningful moment was when Coach Amy, she had been secretly watching behind trees the whole time, so she kind of knew what was happening, but she didn't want to pick anything up. So she came up to me afterwards, and she started crying. She was like, "I'm so proud of you. Like, finally you've had your like breakthrough," and it was just a great moment. I just remember the whole team, one of the best moments of my college career. When we found out that we won and that I was the medalist, we all gathered around in a huddle, and we all kind of started crying because it was contagious. Everyone was crying. But that was like the greatest moment. We were just so proud.
And how is it just to be part of that team with Parada, with Pia, with Jacqueline, and that whole lineup of that you guys have? Basically it's the all conference team. When you look at it, it's your lineup. But for 1 week to be able to stand both on top of the team and then on top of the league, just when did that sink in that you hadn't done this at a regular season event where there are maybe not that you guys played East, where there's only like a handful of truly like NCAA teams or contending teams, but to do it at that point, your biggest stage, just what kind of feelings did that have of accomplishment when it did start to sink in?
I don't think it sunk in until I got home and I was by myself in my bed and I was like, oh, you did that today. You know,
uh,
it just felt good. As sorry, go ahead.
no, no, continue your thought. I thought you had wrapped up, but don't continue with on your path.
It the best feeling was that my team was proud of me. P was I love her so much, and I love Pia too. I'm sad that they've graduated or they've graduated golf rather, but they were very proud of me, and that was the best feeling is having your teammates and your peers proud of you.
So then, I had to. What was the hardest thing to pry away from you? Was it the trophy? Was it the T-shirt? Was it the flag? The flags. Obviously, the pin flag. What thing were you not giving up for anyone else to lay hands on?
Well, that's a great question, but I knew I would probably break the trophy, so I gave it to my parents. I gave them the T-shirt, and I think I gave them the flag. I have like a memory corner of my room, so they're all sitting nice and pretty there, so I don't mess them up. I would say the moment is something you can't pry away from me.
Sure.
I always have that memory, so.
So it wouldn't take too long before we found out where everything was located in the house, and if something was moved, then you would be it'd be all hands on deck to find those things, right?
Of course, yes.
So just as we wrap up here with Allie Weiner, the legacy winner for performance at GAC Women's Championship. Just you've spoken of so many other memories that happened from that week. But if I ask you to pin down one, what's one that is really stands out as the most indelible moment from that week?
I want to say the huddle that I talked about earlier because when we were all vulnerable together and we all kind of just felt proud of each other, that was one of the greatest moments of my entire life. Just having a group of people that you've put your blood, sweat, and tears into everything with them and it finally paying off. That was a great moment, and I will never forget that. So.
Well, Allie, you put yourself on a list. I know the league is all of 8 years old, but the list of champions at our league event are among the obviously some of the best golfers we've had in the time here, and it is certainly littered with Arkansas Tech Golden Sun. So for you to add your name onto that list is an outstanding accomplishment, and certainly a worthy recipient for this additional award. I can't put it in a memory bank. There's nothing here that I can offer you per se, but we do always wrap up these interviews by letting this be, as we call it, your Oscar moment, where you can thank all those who supported you both on the course this year and with all these awards being online and fan driven. Those that turned out the vote for you to earn this, I'm sure, equally coveted trophy.
Thank you. I guess first of all, my parents. I would love to thank them. They've made me who I am today. They always went out to the course with me. My dad has been my assistant coach for every sports team I've ever played on. They're my biggest supporters. Coach Amy has definitely contributed to my career, obviously. I feel like being at Tech has made me a better person, a better golfer, a better student, everything. So I owe everything to Coach Amy, to my parents, to my team for always supporting me, and my whole family, everyone. It's a great ride, and I can't wait to continue.
Well, let's say with you being returning this year to Tech Squad, maybe we could be talking again this year for a similar achievement if you were to repeat as champion. We wish you all the best of luck coming up this fall, and we will catch with you down the road, if not in Hot Springs, or in Hot Springs, if not sooner. So thank you for taking the time here today.
Thank you so much.